This is Seattle's Green Lake, which, as its name suggests, has water that can get pretty green, maybe a little gray if you go to film on a rainy winter day. And it turns out the reason for this has some interesting history buried right below the surrounding city streets. About a mile north of the lake, you can find this, a natural spring known as Licton Spring, a name which dates back well before the city of Seattle. See, the area around the spring used to be a spiritual and health center for the local Duwamish people since time immemorial. Licton Spring drains into this small stream, which drains into this creek, which drains into this culvert. Now, this creek used to drain straight into Green Lake, but in 1911 the city decided to make a park around Green Lake and wanted to lower the water level. This meant dredging the lake, making it deeper. But there was a problem. By lowering the lake level, the lake was no longer able to drain out of its natural outflow at Ravenna Creek. This meant in order to maintain the new lower water level, less water had to go into the lake. So the city started to just fill in the inflowing creeks with sand and dirt. Well, in 1924, a local 12-year-old boy named Chuck had an idea that many 12-year-old boys have had over the years. He wanted to dig a big hole in his backyard. And Chuck had good intentions. He had been given 3 injured ducks he wanted to care for, and his house was on what had been that creek flowing in from Licton Springs. So he knew the hole he dug would naturally fill with water, and the injured ducks would then have somewhere to recuperate. His idea was a success, and over the years, his duck pond project grew and grew. By 1933, Chuck, now in his 20s, dammed the creek and directed its flow straight into the new pond, which by this point had become something of a local curiosity. Chuck continued to maintain the pond for the rest of his life, and went on to be one of the most successful breeders of ducks and geese in the country, becoming only the 4th person inducted into the Waterfowl Breeders' Hall of Fame, yes, that's a real thing, in 1990. With little inflow due to the redirected creek and no outflow, Green Lake's water became stagnant, and algae blooms, already common at the lake, became even more frequent. So if you ever go swimming in this lake and wonder why the water isn't exactly crystal Pepsi clear, you have these ducks to blame, and also the city government, because of course they're always to blame.